Welcome back to Measurement Module 6, Lesson 7, students. Finding volume of liquids. Calculators will be allowed for this class. We have a good idea of how to calculate volume of a cube and cuboid as well as find their dimensions. Now let's take a look at the volume of liquids and their corresponding height in a container. The objectives of this lesson are: find volume of liquid in container. That's objective number 1. Number 2 is find height of liquid given the volume. Now, one of the topics you may have to revisit is this: volume of cube and cuboid. Okay, now you know this. Let me just recap. As you already know, liquids are usually measured in cubic centimeters, which is cm cube, or milliliters, ml, and liters. Right? Now the relationship is this: 1000 cm cube is equal to 1000 ml, which is equal to 1 liter. This is the relationship. Okay? Remember that? Let's get to work. Question 1, students. A rectangular tank measuring 30 cm by 25 cm by 10 cm is filled with water up to a height of 7 cm. Question A is this: find the capacity of the tank. B, find the volume of water in the tank. Give your answers in liters. That instruction is given. Now, the capacity of the tank refers to how much it can hold altogether. That means its total volume. So in this case, capacity is the same as volume. Don't get confused by two different words. Okay, step 1, let's look at capacity, which is total volume of the entire container. So you know this: length times breadth times height. So set it up: L times B times H equals to, plug in the numbers that are given. These are the measurements of the container: 30 times 25 times 10 measurements of the container, and you get 7,500 cm cube. Your answer is supposed to be in liters, so remember that 7,500 you have to divide it by 1,000 to get 7.5 liters. The conversion was already discussed, so that's your answer for part A. Let's look at part B. Let's find the volume of water in the tank. Okay, just now you calculated the capacity of the container. Now is the volume of the liquid, the volume of water. Same thing: length times breadth times height. Look at the diagram. The water container, so the water level stops at 7 cm. So 30 times 25, that remains the same, nothing changes. Whereas the height is now 7, because that's where the water level stops. When you do the mathematics, you get 5,250 cm cube. Once again, to convert it to liters, you've got to divide it by 1,000, and you get 5.25 liters. And that's your final answer. You guys are doing amazingly well. Let's move on to question 2. Question 2, students. A rectangular tank measuring 40 cm by 20 cm by 35 cm, just like the diagram to your right, is filled with 22.4 liters of water, indicated by the blue line. Now, part A of the question is this: find the height of the water level in the tank. That's part A. Part B is: how much more water is needed to completely fill up the tank? Let's look at this question. It looks a little bit tricky, but the concept is the same. First, let's convert the volume of water into cubic centimeters. How do you do that? You take 22.4 liters, multiply it by 1,000, and you get 22,400 cm cube. Why do you do this? Because as you can see, all your units are in cms: 40 cm, 20 cm, 35 cm. So by converting this, you really make your life a lot easier. So using the reverse strategy, just like we talked about earlier, let's set up for height. How do we calculate height? We calculate height as volume of water, the volume of water divided by length times breadth. So when you do this, you realize that you get the height of the water level, right? 22,400 divided by 40 times 20, which is the base area. What is the answer you get? Plug in the numbers into the calculator and you get 28 centimeters. That is your answer for part A. And let's fill up that information into the water tank as well so that it kind of aids us. Okay, so that is 28 cm. So what are we looking for in part B? We now know the height of the water level in the tank, so we can now find out the height of the tank that remains to be filled. Thus its entire volume, right? So we are looking for the top portion there. The top portion, so you follow the red light, the top portion, we are looking for that height. Once we get that height, we can figure out the volume. So how do we get the height? Okay, the height of the container is 35 centimeters. The water level, present water level is 28. So you get 7 cm. Now 7 cm is the height that is required to be filled up. So let's now calculate volume plugging in that height. Okay, volume is once again L times B times H, length times breadth times height. Base area remains the same. The height is just 7 cm, just 7 cm, just the top portion. When you plug in, when you do the mathematics, you get 5,600 cm cube. So 5,600 cm cube is all that is required to fill water all the way to the top of the tank. And that's your final answer. 28 cm is the height of the water level. Well done. Lesson 7 has come to an end, students. We are done with lesson 7. Go ahead and attempt the quiz. We only have one more lesson in measurement left. So attempt the quiz, ace it, and go score.